Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Best Kept Secrets with me, Lele Pons. This is episode 8, and we've already had some wild calls. Some of them I've related to, some of them I've learned from, and some that have challenged me to be more adventurous. Today is going to be a little bit different because we're going to focus on only one call due to the fact that it's a very special conversation that hit close to home for me and really reminded me why I started this podcast in the first place. It's about someone's journey to overcome their personal challenges, and I think we can all learn a lot from what our caller LB has to say.
The following content contains adult subject matter, including sensitive material, and is intended for adult consumption only. It may not be suitable for all audiences. Therefore, discretion is advised. Lele Pons is not a trained expert, but is using her personal experiences and platform to create a space for sensitive discussions.
And that being said, let's get LB on the line and hear the secret he has to share with us. Hi, LB.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, too. I'm dying to know, what is your best kept secret?
Well, sadly, cannot tie my shoes.
Neither can I. I swear to God. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Oh, really? We have the same secret.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it's not, mine is not a secret, because I asked people to do it for me, so I guess people, now they know. No, seriously, I'm since I was little, I learned kinda now, and I'm 24 years old. I'm getting better. I don't know why I can't. It's weird. It's just weird. I don't know why. I just forget what not to do, what the bunny and stuff. So, oh, and if I do tie my shoes, they come off right away. So I guess that's not tying shoes.
Gotcha.
But I'm glad we have the same thing in common.
Me too. I'm not the only one.
Yeah, no, but how old are you?
I turn 19 tomorrow.
How old were you when your parents first tried to teach you to tie your shoes?
Well, me and my parents both got together, and it was around the normal age any normal kid tries, about 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
That's when they started teaching me. Tried to teach me the loop knot and everything, and we quickly found out that it was going to be a struggle due to my dyslexia. I was born with dyscalculia, which it's not dyslexia. It's just a disorder that messes with numbers, and I couldn't tell time and had trouble organizing and stuff like that. But I was also born with 2 types of dyslexia: phonological dyslexia and visual dyslexia.
Can you explain some of the challenges, of the other challenges you have?
Well, the challenges, once I got into preschool and kindergarten, I couldn't even say the alphabet without messing up. I couldn't write any letters. Couldn't really speak in a sentence without jumbling up the words. I would totally murder every single spelling bee I had. It was bad. It was frustrating.
I understand, yeah.
It was very frustrating.
I feel like you had a strong personality. I feel like the same thing kind of happened to me. Like it didn't have what you had, but I had I had Tourette's and OCD, and I moved from Venezuela, so I didn't know how to speak in English at all, and I went straight to kindergarten. So I didn't have a lot of friends, and I didn't know how to read at all, and I had difficulty reading when I was a child. So I understand where you're coming from, and it is very frustrating. When did kids start to notice that you didn't know how to tie your shoes?
Once I got to the point where we realized, okay, he can't tie his shoes. Mm-hmm. So I started buying laceless shoes, and I would just wear sandals, like chacos. And every day from the day I could wear shoes to now, pretty much. And people didn't really catch on during elementary school. Teachers would ask, but they wouldn't ask me. They would ask my parents, so my parents told them. And so it didn't really come out, or it wasn't really asked about till 6th grade, till I started middle school. When I hit 6th grade, that's where kids started catching on, and I quickly developed a nickname, and that nickname would be Laceless, because I wore laceless shoes.
Oh, laceless.
And so I dreaded going into middle school because I couldn't tie my shoes. I thought, oh gosh, I'm gonna get my head shoved in toilets and thrown in trash cans and lockers.
But you know what? Middle school sucks. Okay, I remember middle school. It really does suck. Kids are horrible. And I wonder, how was high school for you? Did it change?
Well, I mean, by the time I hit high school, I started playing football, and one big issue that came up was, oh shit, cleats.
Oh, and yeah. Oh no. Yeah. And like, I wonder who started calling you laceless?
See, my best friend that I met him in 6th grade. He didn't go to my elementary school. And what surprised me is all the kids that I went to elementary school with, none of them caught on. I didn't have the nickname till 6th grade because my best friend came to me one day, and just the face he gave me, I knew he had caught on to something. But I didn't think it would be that because I had already gone almost 11 to 12 years with no questions. So he walks up to me and he says, I got a question. And I said, okay. He said, we're about halfway into the year, and I have yet to see you wear a pair of tennis shoes with laces. Mm-hmm. Why is that? And so I sat there.
He really is noticing stuff. I would have not. I don't even look at shoes sometimes. Like, I would have never like asked. I mean, wow, he really has eyes for shit. My God.
Yeah, like he told me. He said, I played detective. I've been watching you for a little bit, and I've noticed you don't wear them. And so finally, I mean, I can't come up with an excuse of why I'm wearing sandals or laceless shoes all the time. So I told him, and he was like, okay, well, I'm gonna call you laceless. And so I was like, okay. I told him, I said, don't tell anybody. I just want to see who can find out on their own from there. So after about 2 weeks of him calling me laceless,
obviously,
he texted me in class, and teacher heard my phone go off.
Oh no!
He took his phone and he went to go read the text. He knew it was to me because he heard my phone go off, and he says, "Why is your name laceless?" So here I am in front of the whole class.
That's horrible.
As soon as he said the word laceless, I'm expecting everybody I look around and I'm expecting everybody to look at me. But no, I turn around and they're looking at my shoes. I'm like, oh, okay. So here's where the explaining part's going to come in. Oh, and so I explained it. I'm pretty sure I shedded a couple tears trying to explain it because, I mean,
so tough.
I had gone so long. I had gone so long with nobody knowing. It was kind of like just opening up about something big. And so
I hope that teacher felt
I told
like
everybody.
Crap. I swear.
I'd say about 48 hours after I told the class, the whole school knew. And then instead of getting shoved in trash cans and lockers, they would come to me and actually just like support me. They're like, "That's kind of cool. Like you've never even."
Oh, they did. Okay.
You've never tied your shoes, and you've made it this far with.
Did people help you maybe or no? Like, did people try to teach you?
I've had people offer to teach me. I cannot tell you how many people that have said, let me teach you. Like, I want to teach you. I want to be the one to say I helped a 6th, 7th, 8th grader tie shoes. And every time they ask me, I tell them, I say no. Because like I was saying, you've actually tried to tie your shoes and stuff like that. Me, to this day, I'm about to turn 19 tomorrow, and to this day, I still haven't tried to tie my shoes.
So you haven't learned yet?
No.
To be honest, like for me as a girl, there's no heels that have laces. So I'm good in that department, and my boots, and then I do wear a lot of sandals. So I really never really wear like shoes that have laces in it because that's one of the reasons why. I mean, my friends tie my shoes for me.
Well, I mean, I played football through high school with the Velcro cleats, and then I got a job throughout high school. My first job I got in 11th grade. I was working at a fast food restaurant. I got Velcro non-slip shoes for the kitchen because that's like policy. You have to have non-slip shoes. Mm-hmm. I'd probably been there for a couple months, and my boss called me into his office one day, and I was like, uh-oh, I'm either in big trouble or just something's happened. Maybe something's messed up or something like that. So I go into his office, and he looks at me. He says, so I noticed you don't have like the regulated shoes for work. Like you need non-slip shoes. And so I'm in my head, I'm like, he's trying to get me. Like he's going to get me in trouble for not wearing the right shoes. So I take my shoe off right there, and he thought they weren't regulated because they were Velcro. And I showed him right there. I said, these are non-slip. I got them custom ordered. And I sat there and explained to him about my whole life story about how I never tried to tie my shoes and how I was born with dyslexia and all that. And he got a kick out of it, but I'm pretty sure he was kind of bummed out the fact that I'd proved him wrong.
It's a just slap in the face, when...
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably wasn't expecting that. And it's like, it's so honest. We're going to keep talking to LB about bullying, disabilities, and finding the confidence within to overcome your challenges. I'm also going to be sharing some of my personal stories, so hang tight, and we'll be back right after this quick break. Welcome back to Best Kept Secrets. Let's continue our call with LB. This is very important because many people probably have something not like you or like something similar, and they feel kind of embarrassed to even tell someone, so they will actually be like, no, yes, sir, you're right, and then never say anything, And I feel like it's good to tell people, and I applaud that, because if people, sometimes because I have Tourette's sometimes, so when I'm in the plane, and this is my fault, when I was in the plane, I couldn't stop moving, and I was in the middle seat, and one of the girls was like, hey, stop moving, you're like you're annoying me, like, and she was, instead of me being like, sorry, I have Tourette's, like I'm trying my best, I was just like, no, you're right, I'm sorry. And like I kept moving, but like she was pissed, and I like didn't explain myself. But I and my friends told me, if you would have explained yourself, she would have shut the fuck up,
Oh yeah, she would have felt like shit.
Yeah, exactly.
After the first thing she said, if you would have said, hey lady, like I have Tourette's, I have a disorder, I can't help it, she would have felt like shit. She would have sat there and either shut up or she would have apologized right off the bat.
Yeah, so it's good what you did, and I love that you don't feel embarrassed. You're very confident.
I mean, yes. Well, I mean, I'm pretty much known around my small little town for laceless. That's what they call me. But once I graduated high school and got into the workforce, I started meeting new people. And so I told myself, since I'm meeting new people, instead of just telling them right off the bat, like, hey, I've never tied my shoes, I'll keep it a secret until they ask about it. So, I mean, really, it's still a secret to a lot of people. But all they have to do is ask one question, and it's not a secret for them anymore.
It's hard because if you're not going through that, it's hard to understand, and that's how it is for people. Yeah. Unless they're going through it, And like I wonder, like, do you ever get upset about not being able to buy fancy new sneakers and stuff, or you don't care?
Well, I mean, the way I think about it is, growing up, I've always wanted them new Nike Air Forces or those new Jordans because they look really cool. But at the same time, it was like, I would have to get them custom ordered. Yeah. Because I'm not going to tie them. And so I never really did that. But then after I graduated high school, I was saving up money. Well, there's this very expensive brand that came out called Balenciaga. And what they're known for is their laceless tennis shoe.
Love that.
Of course, me being me, going 17 years of my life so far when I bought the shoes, I hadn't tied them. I was like, well, I have 17 years invested into this. I'll just go ahead and spend $1,200 on these shoes. So I bought them. 2 weeks later, they come in the mail. I wear them. And right off the bat, people are like, oh, he's got the new shoes. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, yeah, now I've gone from, oh, he's the weird kid that wears laceless shoes, or he's cool because he's gone this long without tying his shoes, to, dang, like, he's got these $1,200 shoes that nobody in town has. I don't think I would be in the same boat.
I have those.
You have Balenciagas?
I have those. Yes, I do have them. Yeah. I do, and it's I do. Yeah, the ones that you just like, it's like almost like a sock. Like you just put it in there and it fits perfectly.
Yes, and that's one thing that I tell everybody. I say, if you're running late to work and you don't even have your shoes on, that costs you a whole nother 30 seconds.
Or when you're going through security and you're going through the security in the airport. Oh,
going through in the airport. Yeah, just slip them off, send them through, and then put them back on.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And so I mean, it's so much more convenient. And now people actually realize that. People like throughout school, they were like, oh, da 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 da. And what comeback am I going to have to a kid making fun of me because I can't tie my shoes in middle school? There is really no comeback you can say to that.
Yeah, I know.
But still, at the same time, I had enough people that were on my side, and the popularity from it, that it wasn't very long before everybody just started shutting up, because they knew if they kept talking, it was going to be like a couple people versus
and also they start talking like it's just a bad look for them. It is, and people, I feel like too many people care right now, especially nowadays, about mental health,
Yes. Like, that's what I always tell them. I'm like, there's kids out here that, I mean, Down syndrome, autism, and very, very hard disabilities. Like, I'm grateful that I was just given dyslexia. Like, yes, it was hard, but I can only imagine how much harder it is to have one of the other disabilities like that.
And that goes to my next question. The last question which is what advice do you have for anyone struggling with dyslexia or other learning disabilities?
Well, one thing I will tell them is no matter how rare it is, no matter like how hard of a form of dyslexia it is, or how many forms you have, it is overcomable. And I'm living proof because I was born with 2 different types of dyslexia, and I'm taking a semester off. I just graduated high school this year. I took a semester off, and then next summer I go to start college to be an English teacher.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
That just shows that you can go from not being able to say the alphabet or speak a sentence to teaching it.
Yeah, I love that. You're such an inspiration. And I think it's great that you have embraced it, because not many people do, and that's something that you should continue doing. Don't stop.
Yes. Well, I mean, I have in the next couple months, I think I have 2 or 3 speeches to do at high schools for kids. I also have elementary schools that want me to come and help teach kids with dyslexia. So it'll go into my dual enrollment. And so by the time I actually go into college, I'll be going in as a sophomore instead of a freshman. Yeah. So really, I only have 1 year left, and I'll come out and go teach English and language arts.
And that's the best part, I swear. Like, I'm over normal people. I'm serious. I want people to have a story. It's very boring. Yeah.
That's what I always say. People that always call me weird, I would always say, I'd rather be weird than be basic.
Yeah, like, why do you want to be like everybody else when you're born to stand out?
Yeah, because, I mean, in 2005 and 2010, yeah, the basic kids, the kids that hung around, all the kids that got the new iPhones in 6th grade, and they always had their group, and no one else was allowed in unless you met their requirements. Yeah, well, now the kids that can't tie their shoes, or the kids that haven't gotten haircuts, or, I mean, just the weirdest things, those are the kids that stand out. And that's one thing that I love about how I never tried to tie my shoes.
Yeah, if you're normal right now, 2020, if you're normal, you are considered boring.
Yes, if you are normal, then you've lost your shot. I mean, look at Stephen Hawking.
Exactly. Look at Billie Eilish.
Yes. And so, I mean, there's living proof out there. I mean, that you can make it.
Well, I'm very happy for you. I love your energy, and hope everybody can be, as confident as you are. I think you've helped a lot of people. Thank you.
Thank you. Anytime.
Thank you all for listening today, and big thanks to LB for calling in and speaking to me. This call really brought back a lot of feelings and emotions for me, because it took me back when I was struggling and being bullied in school. The other kids didn't really give me a nickname like Laceless. I mean, not that I know of or heard of, but they did, throw food at me in assembly, and they made a song about me. I think it was like freshman year. And the kids that wrote that song didn't really understand me at all, because most people, including adults, don't really understand what it's like to live with conditions like OCD and Tourette's, which is normal. If you don't have it, you probably won't understand what someone's going through. And now looking back at it, I should have done what LB did, which was to actually confront them and tell them what I have, and completely shut them up. It takes a lot of courage to speak out and not hide in shame or embarrassment, which is something I struggled with when I was younger, and honestly, even today. I mean, just like the story I told LB about my experience on the plane. Therefore, there are 2 points that I want to leave you guys with today. The first one is simple. Be kind to people. You have no idea what they're going through, and hearing about someone who is 19 and can't tie their shoes may sound a little bit funny at first because it's unusual, but once you hear about LB's severe dyslexia and realize how much he has had to overcome just to learn to read and write, it's obvious that someone like him deserves our praise and admiration. And the second thing that LB's story made me think about is that no matter how big your challenges are that you're facing in life, you can still overcome them to be happy, successful, and to live a full and productive life. And if any of you are struggling right now with mental, learning, or physical disabilities, I hope that you hear LB's story and my story, and it helps you feel strong and gives you the energy to keep going. Because it's so inspiring to me that LB's had to work so hard to teach himself to read and write, and that now he's planning to pass on those skills as an English teacher. He's a reminder that challenges we face are just hurdles we can learn to jump over, not a brick wall we can't get past. Actually, I was speaking to LB for a little bit after we stopped recording, and he told me that his dad used to tell him, What's the point of giving up? Giving up only means you're going to have to start again from the very beginning when you start trying again. That's very good advice, and I want everyone here to congratulate themselves for taking any steps towards your ultimate goal because they all count. That's why my question of the week is, what challenges did you face in school? You can answer the questions by responding to my Instagram story at Lele Pons or send me a DM on Twitter. I'll be reading and responding, and I want you guys to know that your answers will all be kept completely confidential. Thanks again for listening today. If you have a story similar to LB's or any other kind of secret you would like to share with me on the show, just head over to shots.com/secrets to submit. Bye-bye for now.
If you or someone you know are struggling emotionally, text START to 741-741 for a confidential chat anytime.
Thanks for listening to Best Kept Secrets with me, Lele Pons, only on Spotify in partnerships with Shot Studios. The Shot Studios original team includes creators John Shahidi and Sam Shahidi, my lovely producer Belinda Mercer, and audio editor Stephen Colon. From Spotify Studios, executive producers Javier Pinol, Liz Gately, Gina Delvac, and Danny Trebodge. And a special thanks to Dan Behar, Jessica Molina, Francisco Quijada, and Julio Pabon. I'm Lele. Follow me on Instagram at Lele Pons and check out my exclusive merch at lilshop.com. That is Lil Shop, Lil shop.com. Talk to you next week.